All right, guys, Darren from FBA Elite, and welcome back to another video. So if you're struggling to find your first Amazon FBA product, or maybe you're an existing seller and you're struggling to find your next product, in this video, I'm going to be showing you my 3 favorite Amazon FBA product research techniques that you can use to find your next product. And if you stick with any of these techniques, I guarantee you will find a product. So I'm going to jump straight into it. Number 1. This is a new technique that I saw this year and I shared in the previous video, but as this is kind of my top 3, and if you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you a bonus 4th one as well. But as this is my top 3 product research methods, I'm going to start with one of the latest ones that I've seen and one I found has been really, really powerful. So this one capitalizes on the Amazon Vine Reviewer program. So the Vine reviewers, you effectively pay to leave reviews on your product, or you give them a free product in exchange for leaving a review and you pay Amazon. And the reason that is powerful is that people that are launching products and paying for Vine reviews obviously strongly believe in their product. So in some ways, you're looking at a whittled down list of products that people believe have an opportunity to succeed on Amazon. I'm not saying all of these products will, but certainly it's better than just starting with a completely blank canvas. So how do you go about using this method? First thing, just go to Amazon and then go to new releases. And then once you've gone to new releases, you're going to see a load of new products. And this is going to be changing all the time. And what you're doing is you're looking for a product that has a reasonable number of reviews, because that suggests that maybe they do have some Vine reviews. If they've only got 0 reviews or 1 or 2 reviews, probably less than 10 reviews, they probably haven't got Vine reviews. I would generally avoid electronics, as well, as I'm not personally interested in selling anything electronics related. So I'll just skip this first one. So the next line here is hot new releases in new finds, and just go through here. So this has 173 reviews. This has 2 reviews. These don't have any reviews. These don't have any reviews. These are 87. These don't. So let's just click on one of these. So if we take this iCar Pro, which I know is an electronic, but just purely for the example of this video, let's click on that and see what we've got. So these guys have 87 ratings, and they do have some Vine reviewers. And you know when there's Vine reviewers, as it will say here in green, and if they have 1, there's a good chance they'll probably have up to around about 5 Vine reviews on here. So what we do then is open up each of the Vine reviewers' profiles, and depending on what privacy settings they've got, we can hopefully see all of the products they reviewed. So we get this good list of Vine reviewed products that we can look at to see if there's an opportunity that may interest us. So we're going to open this guy here, which is Amazon customer, Frozen Metroid, J, Mr. PJ Thomas, and customer review. That's a really original name. So let's just take a look through some of these profiles and see what we get. So the first one we clicked on, see Amazon customer, or see Amazon Alstomart. Very clever there, swapping the A and the C. They've got some products for us to look into. The next profile, they've also got products to look into. The next profile is private, so there's nothing for us to see. We can close J's. These guys have products as well, and so do these. So 4 out of 5 of these have got products that we can look through to see if there is anything that would be of interest to us. And this is how the technique works. It gives you ideas to look into yourself. So if we're looking at Mr. PJ Thomas here, the first one is a charger. I'm not interested in that. The second one looks like it's phone related. This one here, I can't quite make out what it is. It is a honey dispenser. I didn't even know they existed, to be honest. Another charger. This looks mobile related. This is something to do with shoes or storage. See what this is. This is a really useful shoe organizer. So if you want to see the actual product itself, on the right, top right-hand side, click on the product link. What is this? This is an adjustable pull-out cabinet organizer. That sounds a bit fussy, to be honest. Let's keep on looking. What's up next? We've got a spice rack, is that, of sorts. Let's click through. Yes, they've got a spice rack here. So if you saw a product, okay, let's see what the demand is like for spice racks, and we'll see what the demand is like from there. So the first thing I'm going to do is pop in spice rack in the search box and see what the search expander from Helium 10 comes back with, so I can see what sort of search volumes we're looking at. And the highest one is spice rack, which sometimes is absolutely fine to go for the highest volume search term. But if there's other search terms that maybe are more specific but still have a good volume, sometimes it's better to look at those as well. So in this instance, we've got spice rack. We've got spice rack for inside cupboard, which is very targeted. Spice rack wall mounted, which has a much lower search volume, only 2,000. So of these, I'd probably be tempted to try this one for inside cupboard at just under 7,000 monthly search volume. That's a good search volume to be looking at. Let's click through to this niche and see what the products are like. First thing, let's just make sure they're all comparable. They are all comparable. I'm not necessarily saying all of these are for inside a cupboard. They certainly can be used for inside a cupboard, but they can also be used for outside a cupboard as well, and maybe a countertop usage as well. So let's run X-ray on this and see what the sales and price point are like. Those are the two things we want to see first. Is this product selling, and for how much is it selling? And then you can do the deep dive analysis and all the rest. So let's filter out the sponsored products so they just muddy the waters and take a look. Have we got demand? 400 units a month, 415, 305, 65, 242. There is some demand in this niche, so that would probably tick the first box depending on what your own product research criteria is. And I'll come back to that later on in this video. And price point, we want to see proof that there is demand above the £15 price point, because below that it's very difficult to make money on Amazon. We've got one here at $28.99, $19.99, $19.99, $36.99. So you can say we've got proof of demand and price point. And there's lots of other analysis you can do, but I'm not going to go into that now because it's all about showing you the methods of how to find these products in the first place. Later on in the video, I'll link you to another video that shows you how to analyze these correctly. So this is the technique you can use to get product ideas. You look at Vine reviewers, you see what products they reviewed, and you go from there. And the good thing of this is almost an infinite list of product ideas. As once you've exhausted this, you can look at other Vine reviewers and see what they're doing. So within any niche, so within this spice rack niche, for example, that product we're looking at, we can look at all of the other Vine reviewers that left a review on that particular spice rack and see what other products they've reviewed. So there's this infinite, basically, rabbit hole that you can go down to keep finding new product ideas. So that's the first idea I want to share with you. And if you do this on a consistent basis, eventually you will find a product. Next one is probably something you've seen before, and people do different examples of this using different pieces of software. This is using basically a database discovery tool to come up with product ideas based on certain criteria you enter. So I'm using Black Box from Helium 10, but I do this slightly differently to most of the people you're going to see on YouTube, and I'll explain why as I go through this. So this would be something you do have to pay for. But again, if you're struggling to find products, this sort of thing will find you a product. And I've got videos on this channel that show you how I found many, many products very, very quickly using the technique I'm going to show you. So this is Black Box from Helium 10. First, make sure you are searching the correct marketplace. So in this instant, we are searching amazon.co.uk. Then get to choose the type of categories or subcategories you want to search. You can either search the parent ones or click on the arrows and choose the subcategories. For this example, I'm just going to choose home and kitchen, as I know generally that will return some interesting results for the purposes of this video. I'm not fussed about the number of sellers. The sales, now the minimum price point, I did say £15, but sometimes I drop this down just a fraction because there might be a great product being sold at £14 or £13.99. So maybe something like £13.90 would capture those, and all I need to do is add a little bit of value and I can push that price up a little bit higher. In terms of maximum, you don't have to enter a maximum, but for most FBA products, you're probably looking at less than £50, probably, to be honest, less than £40 or £30. But I'm going to put 50 for this example. Now, review count, this is where a lot of people, especially in the past, are entering filters based on review counts. And I think that's the wrong thing to do. People always, in the past, have used review counts as a way of suggesting whether a niche is competitive or not. Whereas in my eyes, I don't really care too much how many reviews another product has if I'm bringing a better product to market. I don't care if a product's got 1,000 reviews and is selling at £20. If I come to market at £20 and I've got a product that is superior to that product and maybe got 10 reviews, and I will be confident in my own product development skills that my product is going to sell. So that's why I don't include review filters, because ultimately you end up filtering out lots of products that actually could be good products based on old teachings that don't apply anymore. You can enter monthly revenue if you want. I generally do it by sales instead, because ultimately revenue is just your price times by sales. So I would say a maximum monthly sales of 300 units, because if you're selling above that and you're going to be ordering around 3 months worth of stock for your first batch, you're going to need to invest quite a bit of money. So even if it was 300 units per month, you're probably going to buy 1,000 units on your first order. Whereas if you go for maybe 100 units or 150 units per month, you might order a batch of, say, 500 products instead. And also, it's much harder to launch a product. I'm going to go with a minimum there of about 75 just so there's some demand. It's much harder to launch products that have high demand because you have to outsell the competition. So if your competitors are all selling 300 units per month, you've got to sell there or thereabouts to compete with them and have a chance of getting ranked. So that's much bigger investment in PPC. Whereas if you go into a niche where you've got to sell 100 units per month, that's probably around 3 units per day. You can do that quite easily with PPC. So it's thinking about what's going to make it easier for you as a new seller. And I've just realized that it's slightly hidden for you guys. You can see their monthly sales at 75 to 300, and I haven't put anything in the monthly revenue column. Shipping size tier. Basically, you want to include everything except the oversized tiers because the fulfillment fees for oversize skyrocket. So we don't want small oversize, we don't want large oversize. Small letter, large letter is fine. All the envelopes are fine. Standard parcel is fine. Ignore standard oversize. Extra large envelope is fine, and small parcel is fine. And as we're in the UK, although this is in pounds because Helium 10 is American software, you want to be selling below 1.9 kilograms, and that's either the actual weight or the dimensional weight. And to get your dimensional weights, you multiply height by depth by width and divide it by 5,000, and that will give you your weight in kilograms. So 1.9 or below are where the most appealing fulfillment fees are. Anything above 1.9 kilograms, the fulfillment fees skyrocket, which I think equates to roughly just below 4.2 pounds. So I'm going to put 4.1 just to be safe. I don't worry about the rest of these. And the only other thing that I do sometimes, I don't always do this, is I do enter a max variation count, as I don't want to see opportunities where to succeed in a niche, and you see this in a lot of places like maybe bags or something that are coming in 10 different colors. I don't want to go into a niche where I'm selling lots of variation. So I put a maximum variation count of 2, and then I click search, and that will return a list of products that matches all of the criteria that I just entered. And you can go through them and do your analysis on each product. You don't have to analyze every single product because you can exclude some of these very, very quickly. Let's just hover over some of them and see what they are. And we can do an example. The Bedsmith one-step big looper tool. I'm not really sure what that is, to be honest. Universal air conditioner window adapter. That's clearly going to be seasonal. We've then got 5-litre pump dispensers. I'm quite surprised these are selling for $18.99 for a pump dispenser. Let's just open these, actually. I'm intrigued to see. $18.99. Are they really selling for that? I can't believe that's really true. Either way, what we can do with this, sometimes if you're unsure whether a product offers a genuine opportunity, you want to find out what keywords it's ranking for. So let's take this through to Cerebro, and we're going to look at what this product is ranking for organically, as that will give us an idea as to whether we can just completely exclude this product or whether there's a search term here that we want to analyze. So let's just put a minimum search volume of 500. That'll get rid of all the low volume search terms. So these guys, they're not really ranking for anything. I mean, they're organic 30th for pump dispenser, but let's just see in the pump dispenser niche, let's just see what we're looking at. Let's open up X-Ray from Helium 10 and see what the stats say. Is there any demand, and what is the price point? Those are the two metrics you're always going to look at first before you look at anything else. And in this particular niche, we have some demand. It's a bit lumpy, it's a bit mixed up, and there is some, there's a couple of people selling at a reasonable price point, but generally this is quite a low value niche. So I'd probably just skip over that. But back to Black Box. So this is what you do. You just go through this. I'm not going to start selling highball glasses due to the risk of damage. Soda stream bottles, nope. Descaling tablets, nope. Let's try so I can just find something that's interesting. Bathroom accessory. So this is a no drill. So that always appeals to customers if something's no drill. So let's see actually let's open up on Amazon and see what this product is. This is an easy install. It's a shower caddy. I think I've looked at shower caddies before on this channel. And again, we can go onto Cerebro and see how this individual product is performing in terms of which keywords it's ranking for, and then we can choose the best keyword to do the analysis. Or you can use the search expander technique, which I showed you earlier on in this video. You choose a search bar and see what the suggested search volumes are like. So minimum search volume of 500, because anything worth considering is going to be probably a couple of thousand upwards. Shower basket at 1,300, shower caddy at nearly 40,000. That is a huge search volume. But you can see that organic ranks are pretty poor. In general, if someone's making sales, they're probably making sales from maybe around the top 20 organic positions. So let's just take a quick look at shower caddy, take a look at Helium 10. I think the demand is probably going to be too high in this niche for a new seller based on a search volume of 40,000, but we shall see. Yeah, to demand 500, 1,100, 400, 900, 2,400, 7,800. Imagine that doing £133,000 worth of sales of one product, just a shower caddy per month. So yeah, I would say this is a bad niche for a new seller purely because the demand is too high. But hopefully you get the gist of how to use Black Box or a similar tool to enter your criteria to return a list of products you can then go through and analyze. So number three is my favorite technique. This is a technique that I have used to find pretty much all of my products. And it's the one I've taught over and over again. I've even named it the Store Raider method. And this method is in some ways is very similar to the Vine review method, but we focus more on the product than on the reviewer. So let's just say, for example, we're going to use that Spice Rack product. And again, this provides a rabbit hole for you to go down. It's going to provide an infinite number of products. And what you do is you start with a particular product. You then run X-ray or whichever sales estimator tool you're using. And what you're looking for a product that sells well and also at a high price point. And then we're going to look at the seller of that product to see what other products they've got. Because the chances are, if they've got one good product, they'll have other good products as well. So let's just start from the top. The second one down, then they're selling 415 units at $28.99. So that's piqued my interest. Let's click on to this product. And once you've clicked onto the product, you can go and find the seller by going to the buy box on the right-hand side, and it says dispatches from Amazon. So you know it's an FBA product and sold by C Peach Limited. Now if we click onto their company name, scroll down to the very bottom, and it says see all products currently offered by the seller. Click on that link, and hopefully they've got other products that we can analyze. So you can see they've got some spice racks, but they've also got clearly products that are coming from the same factory. These are very much wire and metal based. So a spice rack or a fruit basket or a hose pipe hanger, you can see these are probably coming from the same factory. But at the same time, these are product ideas that we can look into. We can run X-ray on this seller's products to see how well these products are selling. I'm going to sort them by sales, so I'm interested in which ones are doing well. So their fruit basket is smashing it, 1,300 units per month, their fruit basket. The spice rack, which we just saw, they're selling 415 units of that. They got a hanging spice rack as well, doing 257. They've got multi-tier plant stands, which potentially are going to be seasonal. That's certainly something you'd check. So this is actually, just by pure chance, a very good example of how this technique works. I found one product, which is the spice rack, using the Vine Reviewer program, and then found this seller, and this seller all of a sudden has a number of different products that I might want to look into. So I might want to look into the fruit baskets. Let's come back to Amazon, put in fruit basket, and see what the demand is like. There is top level demand, but it does drop off quite quick. I do prefer it to see, run a little bit deeper than this, especially with the top guys obviously clearly soaking up a big chunk of the sales. But we've got here 510, 387, 36, 356. The problem with this niche is very hard to choose a landing zone for a new seller. If you come into this niche, which level are you targeting? Because there's no consistent level. It's not like 5 or 6 sellers are doing 150 or 200 units per month. They're all doing different levels of sales. And the price point, it is on the lower side. There are one there at $33.99, $22.99, $26.99. So there probably is just about enough demand. If the sales are more consistent and more predictable in terms of more of a level plateau, it would be more appealing, but this inconsistency in the sales would put me off. And then once you've exhausted all of the products that seller had to offer, if I can find that seller again, I've got so many tabs open here, I don't even know where it is, but that seller had all those different products. Once you've exhausted all of those products, no, I can't find it, it's somewhere. Once you've exhausted all of those products, you just look into, you would take, for example, the shower caddy niche or the fruit bowl niche, and you do exactly the same thing. You sort the products by the demand or by the sales, and you look at the products that are selling well and also have got a good price point, click through to the seller and see what other products they are selling. So that will give you this infinite cycle of new products for you to investigate. So those are the top 3 methods I use to find products. And the fourth method, if you stuck around this long just before I get there, if you're going to be doing product research, you're going to need to be using some sales estimator software and search term estimator software, or product discovery software like Black Box. So I use Helium 10, as you guys know. Use discount code FBA Elite 20. That will save you 20% off for 6 months. Or you can use FBA Elite 10, that will save you 10% off forever, or use either code, pay annually, and that will save you 25% off for the year. But this final technique is completely free. If you're struggling with your product research at the moment, what I want you to do is to shut down your PC or shut down your laptop. I want you to get up, I want you to go out, and I want you to go to the shops. I want you to go to places like Dunelm Mill. I want you to go to places like B&M and Home Bargains and all of the big supermarkets, not one of your smaller supermarkets. Go to the big supermarkets that have big homeware aisles and just have a walk around those shops and look for products that are fairly small and that are high value. I did this, I made a video about this a couple of months ago. I went to Sainsbury's and in the space of about 15 minutes, I shortlisted 3 different products that I come back and turned out to be fairly viable. There's a video on a channel that covers that. So it's a great technique for keeping things fresh. Get to the shop, see the products physically, because straight away you can see how big they are, what sort of price points they're selling for. Keep in mind, they're always going to sell for more on Amazon than they do in the shops. Everything has an Amazon premium because it's going to be delivered rather than you have to go and get it from the shops. So if something's selling for £10 in the shops, you probably can get £15, £20 for it on Amazon. And for me, that is a great way of keeping it fresh and keeping your product research interesting. Now, if you have found a product and you're not quite sure how to analyze it fully, I'm going to pop up a video now that shows you a step-by-step checklist you can follow to make sure your product is viable. And I'll see you guys over there.